If you're wondering how long you should keep braids in short, the answer is around 3 to 4 months. But there's plenty of other factors that fall into that, like how long your hair is, what hair texture you have, how well you take care of your braids, and various other things. And I'm here to help you decide how long you should keep your braids in. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Kozak, and I'm back with yet another video. And today I'm going to be telling you guys how long you should keep your braids in. So, of course, 3 to 4 months is around the average. That's about when having braids in kind of gets unproductive. So that's about like your hair's loose, whatever braids, whether you have individuals, whether you have weave in your hair, whether you have straight backs, it's loose at that point, and it's not protecting your hair as well, and there's no point of having it in. It's not pulling on your hair, it's not promoting growth in any way at that point. So it's kind of unproductive at that point. It's better to go ahead and refresh those braids and get them braided again. But on average, me personally, I usually keep braids in for about a month and a half to 2 months. That's on average. I feel like I'm not getting my money's worth unless I'm keeping it in for at least that long. But that's me personally. I'm kind of like quick to pull the trigger and like get bored of braids pretty quickly. Don't be like me, guys. Don't be like me. But on average, about 1.5 months or like 2 months is usually how long I'll keep my braids in. Now, I do recommend keeping your braids in for longer, of course. If you have like weave in your hair, or if you just have normal plaits or like normal straight backs and that's your own natural hair, I recommend keeping it in as long as you possibly can. Once you get to about like 4 or 5 months, that is at a point where it's just like there's really no point to have your braids in anymore, unless you feel like your hair isn't loose. But if your hair is loose, of course, which most people's hair is going to be loose at that point, it's time to go ahead and take those out, wash your hair, and go get them braided again. Also, a lot of other factors play into it, like how well you're taking care of your hair, and that means how well you're sleeping with your hair, how well you're maintaining your hair like out and about, like whether you're going through like harsh conditions, fog, whether your hair is getting fuzzy, etc. Plenty of other factors how well you're taking care of your hair while you're in the shower, etc. And the best thing you guys can do is take care of your hair. And the best thing you guys can do is take care of your hair the very best that you possibly can. So the better you take care of your hair, the longer your braids are gonna last. So the way that you sleep with your hair plays a factor into it. So I recommend getting the very best of the best. For example, you want to get yourself a high quality do-rag, a high quality bonnet, a high quality headscarf, whatever you sleep with. I sleep with this do-rag. This is a TSU do-rag, if you guys were wondering. And it's just a really high quality do-rag. It's one of my favorite do-rags, if not my favorite do-rag. What it is here, I'll show you. It's basically just a do-rag that has a Velcro strap on the front and the back of the do-rag. You'd put on the do-rag, and it has a strap in the back, but I tend to just tie it because it's a little too much compression. But you slide that on, you'll fold it up, boom, and you just go ahead and you're good to go, etc. That's what I do. I only do the front straps because literally it's too much compression if I strap both of them on. The way that I would sleep though, like with braids like this, is I'd go ahead and put the do-rag on. I'd get a wave cap. This is a cheap little wave cap that I got off of Amazon. I'll link it in the description below. I'll slide the wave cap on just for added compression, just to make sure, my do-rag won't fall off my head, because that's the main problem, is like you get a do-rag and you'd wake up and it'd be off your head. With this isn't coming off. So the way that I do mine is like this. I know like at this point it's not coming off. If the do-rag comes off my head's coming with it. So so I know like I'm good. That's how I sleep with like braids like this. And then it's the same deal if I have individuals. I'll just pull each of them down, make sure they're flat at the top. Pull each of them down and just do the same thing with the wave cap, and then I'm good to go. I'll even put a bonnet on because they are longer braids, and I'll just tuck it under to protect the pieces that's outside of the do-rag a little bit better. And that's how I do mine. Same thing with women. If you guys sleep with a bonnet, if you have bigger braids, if you have longer braids and you sleep with a bonnet, you're comfortable with a bonnet, make sure you get yourself a high quality bonnet, something with a good like elastic band here that's gonna stay tight around your head there. Same thing with a headscarf. Get yourself a good quality headscarf. you wanna sleep with your hair and protect your hair the very best you can, and that's gonna make your braids last longer. When you're out and about, and your hair's out, if you know like it's foggy that day and it's a lot of like, it's very moist outside, and you know it's a lot of frizz going on out there, protect your hair, put a do-rag on, do something, put a scarf on or something. The better you protect your hair, the longer it's gonna last, because conditions like that will tend to make your hair a little bit frizzy. And the same thing if you're in the shower, don't just have your hair out, go ahead and put a shower cap on. I will still wear a do-rag and put a shower cap over my do-rag. That's how I do it. But the way you go about taking care of your hair is gonna give you that longevity that you're looking for in your braids. Also hair texture. So if your hair is very kinky and tight, you tend to have like you tend to be able to stretch your braids out for a bit of a longer time. My hair is pretty kinky and tight, so like for me, I could definitely stretch my braids out for about 3, 4, maybe even 5 months if I really wanted to, but I'm just like quick to pull the trigger and take my braids out. But if your hair is a bit straighter, if you have a little bit of a straighter textured like hair, you tend to have like less time with braids because they tend to unravel a little bit quicker than like kinkier hair. But that's okay. Once you get your hair braided and you take the very best care of your hair that you possibly can, and you're maintaining it, you're sleeping with it well, you're not going outside when it's like frizzy with your hair, or like you're wrapping it up and taking good care of it, I'd say like get your hair braided and then find out like how long your braids are really gonna last. I found out on average, for me personally, I'm taking my braids out like after a month. That's just me. That's just like a style preference. I like to switch it up. I like to have my hair out. I like to get haircuts, blah, blah, blah. That's me. But I have tested it and like kept my braids in for the very longest that I possibly could. And for on average, it's going to last me about 4 months. I have them in for about 4 months before it gets to a point where it's unproductive to have them in. But that's the answer in short. So to kind of like recap here, at minimum, you want to keep braids in for about a month. I feel like at a month, like that's a good growing point for your hair. That's where you're gonna see visible growth there about a month in. At minimum, I do recommend keeping it in for longer, of course. At maximum, you want to keep it in for about 3, 4, and maybe even 5 months if you can stretch it there. At that point, though, I wouldn't go anywhere past that, because at that point it's literally unproductive. Your braids are literally you literally have too much new growth. Your braids aren't protecting your hair as well as it used to. You might as well go ahead and take them out and re-braid your hair. Your braids are loose, literally like loose. So yeah, you want to go ahead and take those out. But of course, as long as you possibly can keep it in. Remember, there's a lot of other factors that play into it, like how well you're going to take care of your braids, how you're sleeping with it, how you're showering with it, whether you're going out in like harsh weather conditions, etc. And then also last, your hair texture. So if you have like more kinky, like very tight curls, braids tend to like grip a little bit better and braid a little bit better, and so they'll stay more attached, versus someone who has thicker curls or like more wavy curls. And yeah, just remember those factors. And then of course, I recommend you guys go and get your hair braided well by somebody who can braid hair very well. And then of course, the better that someone can braid, the longer the braids are gonna last, etc. But yeah, that's it. That's the whole video. That's all the time that I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good jazz. Let's go on this hair journey together. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that post notifications button. But I'm Kozak. It's been a pleasure. I'm out. Peace. Where'd you go? Oh, you know how I've been living without you. Daydreaming on a cloud with you like horizon. With you tonight.